Interestingly, if you are in deportation proceedings in immigration court, DACA is not acknowledged as a real immigration status. The best we can typically do is try to get the Department of Homeland Security to agree to dismiss the charges against you. That's just a side note, not related to the main points in this video. Hey guys, today I wanted to make a short video about DACA and the process for renewing your DACA application. For those of you who are new, DACA means Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. This is a program that was created by the Obama administration. I believe it was created in 2012. And basically it said that children who entered the US before the age of 16 and who have generally good character, no criminal convictions, and who've remained in the US are eligible for some sort of provisional status. And the word status here is actually incorrect. And the reason is because the president does not have the ability to create immigration status. Only Congress can do that. However, the president can decide who gets employment authorization and who is a priority for deportation from the United States. And basically what DACA does is it says that if you are in the US and you apply and you're approved for DACA, you will receive employment authorization and kind of like a promise to not get deported from the United States. Your name will be put at the end of the list so that Customs and Border Protection and Immigration and Customs Enforcement don't seek you out to remove you from the US. Interestingly, if you are in deportation proceedings in immigration court, DACA is not acknowledged as a real immigration status. The best we can typically do is try to get the Department of Homeland Security to agree to dismiss the charges against you. That's just a side note, not related to the main points in this video. So let's say you have DACA and you are considering renewing it, but you missed the deadline. What happens? You have 1 year from when your DACA expired to renew your application. But I've recently seen some situations where people, a year later still haven't applied. And when I asked them why, they said something along the lines of, oh, it's because my job didn't require continued employment authorization, or I'm self-employed. I didn't really need it. I didn't want to spend the $500 on the new DACA application renewal fee. Or I married a US citizen and I'm going to be applying for a green card soon. So I didn't renew my DACA. What happens? Well, actually, once 1 full year has passed, you can no longer renew your DACA application. A court order went into effect in the year 2020 that basically says people who currently have DACA can renew. But if you fail to renew and 1 full year passes, any application for DACA will be treated as an initial application. And the government does not currently have the power to approve initial applications. So let's take it back to the example. If your DACA expires, you wait 1 full year, and after a full year has passed, you apply to renew it, the government will not see this as a renewal application. They'll see it as an initial application, which cannot be approved until this court order has resolved. There's currently an injunction, and what that means is there's a court order in place preventing USCIS from approving initial DACA applications. If you are in this situation and you apply to renew your DACA after 1 year passes, your application will just remain pending. There will not be any final decision made on it. And I know people who now for 3 years have not received a decision on their pending DACA application because they are in this exact situation. I want to mention one side note that relates to the comment I just made about the person who married a US citizen and didn't think that they need to renew their DACA. My long-standing advice has always been continue to renew your DACA until the green card is physically in your hand. You don't know what could happen while the green card is pending. It's a mistake to not renew your DACA to save the $500 filing fee in hopes that you'll have a green card soon anyway. If something happens and your green card is denied, you are now prime to be deported from the US without the protections that DACA provides. So I know it's a lot of money, but I always recommend paying the DACA application fee and renewing it before your DACA has expired for 1 full year. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you have any questions about renewing DACA, or you're in one of these unfortunate situations I've described and you want to talk to me about it privately, please feel free to schedule a consultation. You can find the information in the video description below. If you're new to my channel, I'm an immigration attorney and I focus almost entirely on family-based immigration. If you're interested in learning more about that, be sure to like the video and subscribe. I'll be putting more content out on a weekly basis, and I'll see you guys next week for another one.